Crunchbase demo, histograms. Session prerequisites. Browse to our earlier videos on Crunchbase. The original dataset, reduction in the variables, cleaning up the data, computing summary measures. In preparation, please have the spreadsheet open on your computer and follow along. Maximum benefit guaranteed. Questions? How complete is this dataset? Is there a need to clean the data? What are the different kinds of funding rounds? Do they exist in equal proportions? Which are the top 10 countries that have received funding?
Now we've had enough about descriptive statistics like mean, median, skew and outliers and such. Why don't we now start visualizing this data set? We do that by constructing a histogram which tells us how points within the raised amount column are distributed, meaning how many of these are within one bucket vis-a-vis another bucket. The bucket size that we're going to pick up is $1 million. So what I'm going to do is to go with a bin size of 1 million, as we said, and calculate what are the frequencies. So we begin with the lowest bin of 0 and then add 1 million very carefully. So I've got 0 on 1 million, and then I know that I have to drag this all the way down to 16 billion, within which I have captured everything within my G column. You remember, this does not have outliers in it. How I calculate the counts or the frequency is by using a very useful frequency function of everything within the G column and the bins. When I do that, I have to be very careful. I press Ctrl Shift Enter and I have a whole bunch of numbers. For example, what I see here is that there are 29,504 funding rounds under the amount of $1 million. Now let's see if it all sums up correctly. So I will total all the frequencies and I get 63,126 rows. Are there really that many? Well, I have 63,127, but remember the first row is a header row, so I'm quite accurate in this. So what I'm going to do now is to take the bins and frequencies and construct a column chart. And that column chart is kind of misleading because it also has the bin amounts, which I'm going to go ahead and remove. So when I remove it, I get the histogram as it should appear. Now let me make some more space for myself by removing what is being plotted. We all know it is frequency in the y dimension for a histogram. And I will simply say it is a histogram of funding amounts. All right, this is the histogram. There is one thing that is missing, which is what's on the x-axis? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That doesn't sound right, does it? We would like to know what are the bins over there. So what I'm going to do is to get back to the histogram. We have to be careful about it. I will select the data, and in the data, I'm going to say my category axis labels are, if you look at this, these are my labels, which are for my bins, and I will say OK to that. What you see over here is a histogram where the bins are mentioned. How do I interpret this? Between 0 and $1 million, there are nearly 30,000 funding rounds, and so on and so forth. The skew is very evident from this picture, as you can notice. So we've talked about the patterns of funding right now. If you notice, the very first column over there, or the very first entry over there, corresponds to the number of funding rounds under 1 million. Being close to 30,000, that's almost half the data set.